Hello everyone! I have not posted here for I think over a week, and I've been thinking that I do want to record this week. I didn't know it was gonna be today, but I am in the flow and I need to take a break from my work cycles and get into the creative part of my life, and this is where YouTube is a perfect spot for me. So, yesterday, by the way, I think this channel is going to be converted into almost like my diary, just updating you guys on where I'm at, how am I growing my business, how am I changing, how is life going on for me, because I feel like I have so many insights that I do want to share that I feel like might help other people in a similar journey. Or I just remember myself like a few years ago, I was like, oh, I wish someone could have told me this stuff that I know right now, but separate video, separate discussion. So I do want to update you guys on where I'm at, and I'm trying to scale my agency. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to step away from the freelancing role, like a role of a freelancer, towards this business owner. And that requires me detaching from the execution and paying more attention to the organizational flows and operations in general. And I love managing, so I love people, and I love teaching people. I love delegating. This is where I find my joy, and so this is very exciting for me. But to dive into a little bit of the details, and it's an interesting discussion. So I am interviewing for a video editor's position. It's just like talking to different people who submitted their portfolios and resume, and I had a call with this guy yesterday, very late in the night. It was Sunday night my time and morning in Philippines. He's from Philippines. His name is Harvey. If you're watching this, you inspired me for this video. He was super nice, out of my budget, great experience, great person. And what I really liked about him is like he wasn't afraid to ask me questions, which I guess I saw myself in him, because when I was, and still am, like I try to ask as many questions as I can, because the better questions we ask, the more we understand, the faster and more efficiently we move on with life and like the things that we want to create. And so it's always great, especially if you're meeting somebody one-on-one, which all my interviews are one-on-one. It's just a great time to ask somebody who is a little bit ahead of you on how they have managed to come where they're at. It's experience, right? Like sharing experience is so important, and I love it. And so he asked me a question. He's, apart from the fact that he's a video editor himself, great skills, he does want to scale his own agency. And he asked me he basically, I think, asked me how am I gonna go about it. Like, what is my process? Or, he asked me for advice. So he asked me for advice. He was super shy, but super nice. So Harvey, my heart goes to you. He was like, what advice would you give someone who is starting? And I was like, it's such a great question, because I'm not like far away in my journey, but I am a little bit into the journey of scaling up the agency. I have big goals for next year, but currently right now, one of the biggest advice I would give to someone who is starting or thinking about starting to step away from the freelancing world and get into the business owner and build an agency is to think about structures. Structures help us cycle the flow of work and cycle the flow of life, because it's a very different process to freelancing, because when you're freelancing, you have like a project here, a client there, and then they drop out, then you have to start again. When you run a business, you actually want to create something that's separate from you and make it like move on its own, if that makes sense. Like, so you create processes, you hire people, you create the team, and all you have to do is supply that entity with people that need help that your agency provides, and your team is going to execute it. Obviously, that's a very surface level explanation, but I think the visual should help. And so when you're creating that entity, you want to think about how you want this entity to operate, because the more efficiently you create the operational flows, the faster you're going to scale, the better you're going to more money you're gonna make, the easier life is gonna get, and less like problems you're gonna have. And this is where I think a very different set of skills comes into play. I think, I'm not gonna be shy, naturally am a leader. I feel like I love leading, I love organizing, I love structuring, because I have, well, for me personally, I try to work for other people organizing their workflows, and I just didn't find it very easy to like match, because I do believe that every leader has a slightly different vision for their own business, and it's where the creativity comes into play as well. You have to visualize, you have to really visualize how you want your workflows to be. And that drills down to, again, like going back to one piece of advice that I can give anyone who is starting to grow their agency or wants to grow their agency. And this is just another reminder for me. I'm working with my second big client right now, and we are facing the issues with the workflow, which makes me excited, but also fucking scared. I'm like, well, what if I fail? I guess I'm gonna learn, but it's about the flow, right? Think about literally every single step that you think somebody should do in your team as if you were to do it, but obviously you want to delegate. You don't want to do the execution yourself because you're going to get burned out. How you want the process to look like. The client submits the content, you forward this content to the video editor or a graphic designer or a copywriter. They do their things with them, whatever you need them to do, like create a blog post or create reels, create YouTube videos, whatever. And then you collect the work from your team, you approve it first. I highly recommend you to not delegate that approval until you have like 5 clients minimum, because that's your responsibility. You are responsible for the quality of work your agency produces, no one else. Not your graphic designer, not your video editor. Like, don't slip away that responsibility part. It's up to you. You're running this agency, it's your business. Don't like outsource the approvals. You approve it, you check on the quality. It's a quality check. You have to do the quality check. Then you send it to your client. Your client does quality check. Then if there are any revisions that need to be made, you send it back to your team. Your team works on the revisions, send it back to you. You approve it again. Again, highly recommend you to approve it again. I have been in the agencies where owners did not approve it because they were too busy with other things, and it's really hard. Like, it takes time to find somebody who would be exactly like me with the vision of the quality of the content that I'm looking for. It's easy to find somebody who would do video editing better than me. It's hard to find somebody with the same vision and the same standard. It's possible to train, it's possible to find. It just takes time. So that should be the last part that you delegate or outsource. That's when you already have all the processes buttered up and running smoothly, and then you're like, okay, now I can take time to look for the manager who would manage the entire process, not me. Sorry, I'm jumping into different topics. I hope this video is going to be helpful though. So yes, you approve it, then you send it to your client again. If the client approves, you or your team member schedules the content. That's like, in a nutshell, social media management agency that I'm building. There are a lot of other details that are involved. And I just want to say that I think it's worth trying. So if you are considering growing your business, if you are considering pausing on freelancing and switching to a business owner model or role, try it. I know it's scary. I know it's fucking scary. Try it. And this is where all like self-help books are going to come into play. All your friends and family who support you are going to be very beneficial. I invite you to journal and write affirmations every single day. You have to find a ground within you that's going to support you through the turbulence of your thoughts and emotions. But it's definitely a great experience. I think about it almost every single day. I'm like, if I fail, I'm still happy. I'm still happy I tried. Like, I tried. That is a lot. That takes courage. And I'm happy I have the courage to try and willing to face the failure. Because I feel like I failed so many times. And that's like everyone who has done business or is trying to grow a business they probably failed like 150 times before they got on that right strategy and made their cash. Wrapping up, watch this video if you are thinking about growing an agency, scaling up. Think about your structures, think about your flows. I would tell you to not overthink about like building a team itself right away. Like, hire an assistant, start delegating processes. Like, if you haven't delegated yet anything, you want to try, you want to start doing the delegation first. Like, you want to try outsourcing first, and then you want to try to outsource more, and then you want to try to get more clients, then you want to outsource more, then you want to get more clients and outsource more, and then you want to create that flow. Remember, like, always about, it's cyclical. Like, think about the cycle that you want to do. I love you. I'm wishing you a great, great, great week. Holiday season is coming. I am going to take a break. I don't know if I'm going to post. Probably yes, because I love YouTube. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Love you.